So my name is Will Norvell.
And I'm Beth Norvell. We met at 714 Bible Study, which was held in what's the old sanctuary now. And I remember the moment I met you, and it's really neat that we've gotten to lead worship on that particular stage since then.
I was already in full-time ministry when we got married, kind of all over different churches, doing stuff like that. After our daughter was born, kind of decided we wanted to settle down, and so we decided to help start a church.
Ministry is really, it's kind of a beast, because when you're on staff at a church, that becomes not only your job, but your entire community. It becomes all of your friendships tend to be based out of that area. All of your children's friends are in that community and in that church. And so it becomes incredibly immersive.
Planting a church in a small town was it was super rewarding, but it was also very difficult in that you really can never get away from it. I mean, we've left churches on completely good terms. We've left churches where we were not really on great terms with leadership at times. And the hard part when that happens is all of that support system is gone just overnight, And so we've had a couple of situations where all of our plans just felt like they got lit on fire and completely burned up really, really quickly. In my desire to protect my family, I was really quiet about some just disintegration in relationships and some differing views among leadership. And there were a lot of things that seemed like, though they'd been going on for months, to her it felt overnight, that all of a sudden I was upset and I was frustrated. And not only that, but I felt like these relationships that she was still leaning really, really strongly on, for me, were already disappearing.
Looking back, I really wish that I had not allowed my fear to become bigger than my belief in a God who provides for me. Because when you're immersed in a community like that, and you rely on each other so much, then that reliance replaces God sometimes. And so I began relying on advice and words from people around me, and that advice and those words became bigger than my marriage, like bigger than Will's input and say and our relationship, until the point where I didn't trust anybody, and I didn't trust him, and there were all these conflicting stories. And one of the best things that came out of that was the idea that God is not a God of confusion, and so when there is confusion, there's usually a lie. And I was believing so many lies about my husband, about my kids, about myself, mostly coming down to the idea that I couldn't rely on anybody except me.
As a kind of a response to all that, I pulled a fun ministry trick in that I planned a marriage retreat where the main speakers were a husband and wife. The husband's been one of my mentors for years, and Beth and the wife were very close. So this couple comes, and I don't remember anything from the marriage retreat. Do you remember anything?
Nothing.
But Saturday night after it was over, we talked them into coming to our house, and we sat down in our living room, and for about 5 hours, got to have this really beautiful experience of being able to fight in front of...
Oh, okay. I thought beautiful experience. It was brutal.
It was brutal, but it was really cool in that it's a setting where, because there's somebody else in the room and somebody that you respect that much, you try to be wise with your words, and really that wisdom just requires you to be honest. And so we had to get really, really honest about a lot of stuff. At that point, we were still doing ministry, but we were understanding that we were leaving, that it was time to go. And so we were kind of adjusted, and they were able to kind of just cut through all that and kind of go, hey, if this church thing is not what God has for the future, the marriage definitely is.
We were just kind of constantly tormented by, oh gosh, what if we mess this church up? These are God's people. just asking the Lord, can you just redeem this situation? And show me that you still love me and that I'm still your child. And I said, God, I just need something tangible. I know your promises. I can repeat them to myself, but they don't feel real. I'm not even lying. Like right away, there's a voice behind me and she's like, hey, Beth. And I turn around and it is my aunt, and she lives in a different county.
5 hours away.
And she shows up. She's like, I just decided to drive up really early and have breakfast with a friend. And then I just felt like I needed to come see you. And because she's the mom of pastors, she followed me around the job all morning, talking to me about the Lord and his faithfulness. When I tell you that I've seen God and his provision in the moments when I don't deserve it, I mean it. He's so faithful.